Want to see how I use AI to produce an entire podcast from research to show notes to social posts? Let me show you how ChatGPT is basically my producer, editor, and strategist all in one. Let's start with the basics. I run a podcast called What the AI, a weekly show breaking down the latest AI news, trends, and real world applications for business leaders. To help manage everything, I've set up a custom ChatGPT project, basically a dedicated workspace that remembers how I want things done. I gave it detailed instructions about our podcast format, tone, segment structure, and what kinds of stories we prioritize. This way, every time I drop in a new prompt, it already understands the context of the show and responds in a way that fits our style and audience. At one point, I had old transcripts loaded in to give it context, but I actually removed them. Why? They started confusing the model. It would pull answers or references from older episodes that had nothing to do with the current week's stories, and fresh context matters. The rundown is basically the backbone of each episode. The rundown is one big Google Doc that my co-host and I share, where we write out all the content we plan to cover in each episode. It includes every segment, hook, and story, and it evolves throughout the week as we find new material and refine our narrative. Our podcast has a structured format. First up, AI Radar, quick hits from the week. AI in the wild, real-world use cases, and then AI Alignment, a section on policy, ethics, and governance. Every day, I skim newsletters, RSS feeds, and Twitter to find interesting AI stories. When I find one, I drop the link and any context I have into ChatGPT. I'll usually ask for a summary or for a structured story draft, depending on the segment. One of the great things about the custom ChatGPT project is that it knows how to format a story differently depending on which segment it's going into, whether it's a quick bullet-style breakdown for AI Radar or a more structured narrative with a hook and takeaways for AI in the wild or AI Alignment. ChatGPT is great at teasing out what's relevant for our format. Once I get the summary back, I either drop it straight into our Google Doc rundown or tweak it slightly to fit our tone. And that Google Doc becomes our master plan for the week's episode, collecting all the stories in one place as the week progresses. Throughout the week, the rundown doc grows as the stories pile in. Now, we record Fridays, so Thursdays is the final polish day. I asked ChatGPT to help reorganize our AI Radar stories into thematic groups that flow better during the episode. It does a great job of clustering similar ideas and creating a narrative arc across a segment. If we have too many stories, it can also suggest which ones to cut or combine. I'm constantly impressed by how well it understands our audience and the narrative structure of the show. It's not perfect, but its editorial instincts are genuinely useful. Once the rundown feels tight, I send it to Annie, my co-host, for feedback. And at that point, we're pretty much locked. After we record, I download a full transcript thanks to the AI models built into our recording software, Riverside FM. Then I feed the transcript into ChatGPT and I ask it for episode title options, show notes, a YouTube title, a YouTube description, a LinkedIn post to promote the episode, an X-style post, and even feedback on what we did well and where we could improve. It is a one-stop content and feedback machine. Now, AI doesn't replace our creativity, it amplifies it. This is still a human show with human voices and takes, but AI lets us focus on ideas and conversation, not logistics and formatting. We're also starting to experiment with automating more of the workflow and maybe even having an AI-generated entire story segments or eventually a full episode. We're always testing new tools to see what's possible, and it's been exciting to push the boundaries of what AI can do in content production. If you're running a podcast or really any content project, AI is more than a tool. It's a teammate. Let me know in the comments how you're using AI or what you want help in automating.